Krampus Compton here, y'all, aka Jimmy J, aka Jalen, aka the best in the business. I'm here talking about Jalen Hurts versus everybody. You even had CJ Garner Johnson even come to the defense with all these reports on my he's uncoachable and all that, which I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that because Jalen Hurts every year since he's been in the league, he's improved. He's been running the same system, but it's been every different form of the system. He did run the West Coast his first year, but Jalen Hurts, yeah, he's every year he's been putting in that work, and I don't really blame him for last year. Because the play calling was terrible. Did I think he played good at every game? No, but he had a decent year. He had a career high in touchdown passes. He had 25, so he did pretty good. He did pretty good. But yeah, he did pretty good. He did really good. So now do he have to then do Jalen Hurts have to approve on certain things? Yeah, he gotta approve. And he gotta approve on letting it fly sometimes. I know he's trying to be but I don't think they was aggressive enough. He still gotta be aggressive. Yeah, you can't be too risk averse. Yeah, but yeah, they make all these reports of Jalen Hurts, and I don't see how they can say he uncoachable when he's like probably the most coachable player in the league. Now, did he had a problem with Batuto because he was doing stuff that didn't work? Yeah, but them saying he don't like play action and turn his back to the line and doing a lot of motion and all that. I don't agree with that. Cause I think he's willing to do whatever to win. Now, certain stuff don't work. You shouldn't expect him to want to do that if it don't work. He know it don't work. That is common sense. Now to say he can't do motion and he did motion 50% of the year. He motioned 40% of the time, and they won games him doing motion. Motion worked for them. The offensive line was horrible, but he did motion. But yeah, the Eagles. But I like this new coordinator Sean Murray. We gotta see what how good he really is. Cause if he get the most out of Jalen Hurts, yeah. And I believe Jalen Hurts can do motion because he's done it and he's pretty good at it. In his best games, his three best games, he did a lot of motion. The Giants game, the Vikings game, and he had one other game where he did a lot of motion and they won the game. And they talking about the floor is 11-6. The floor is 14-3. They should be in 14-3. If they execute, the O line is healthy, and if Cam Jurgens is not still healthy, you got to sit him out. Like they should have sat him out for the whole year because he just it just wasn't working for him. They had to sit him out. Yeah, they had to sit him out. Yeah, because Cam Jurgens, yeah, they just got to sit him down. But yeah, they gotta they just with Jalen Hurts they just gotta just bring out the best of him. Cause last year the offense is so inconsistent, and I don't think it was all Jalen Hurts' fault. I know it wasn't there because the play calling was terrible. Now did Jalen Hurts have some bad games? Yeah, yeah, but he wasn't seeing the field, and I think he was confused by certain. The other thing is they give Jalen Hurts 25 to 30 plays. In different variations of their plays. I think they can get it done. But we just gonna have to see how the season play out. But all this talking about Jalen Hurts is not coachable, and and that and that he can't read plays. When I see him do, he don't like going on the center when he went on the center 40% of the time last year. Yeah, and this there that he can't read defenses, which is not true. That was the case, I would say 3 years ago. That's not the case now. Because you can't read three defense and win the Super Bowl. That don't even make sense. But we're gonna have to see how things go, and and how how the offense shapes up. But this is Crown Press Content. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Peace.